Hello friends, this is Ganesh and video number 7. In this video I'm going to explain about associations, and I divided into two parts, part 1 and part 2, because we have more concept to discuss about associations. This is very important concept in CDS view. Most of the standard CDS view, if you see, a lot of mappings are done with associations only, because that is actually a good kind of mapping between a view or a table. So we'll see one by one. So first I will explain the scenario about why we need association, and going forward you just think about your CDS as going to consumed in a UI applications. So not only for your ABAP program. So for ABAP program normally we go with AMDP concept. So whenever you need to design a basic, simple or complex CDS view for an UI application, you always go with the association concept. Okay, so I will explain about association concept. So before that, let's see one scenario. So this is one of the scenario where the UI applications wants the design like this. So here they want to display the sales order first, and based on the sales order they may go with invoice details or customer or material or delivery details. Okay, so this is the idea about the design of your UI application. So here what happens is, sometimes based on the user authorization, so they have a visibility only for material details or delivery details, not for invoice and customer. Depends on the authorization of the user. Okay, that is also may happen. So for this particular design, if we go with joins instead of association, if we go with joins, what happens is we are going to connect all the relevant either a view or a table using inner join or left outer join, and once you execute it, just pull the data from all the 5 entities. So here entities is nothing but a data from a database table, nothing big. Okay, so it will collect all the relevant data from database tables and keep it ready at the first time. So whenever the user wants to go to material details, if they click, it will take the record because it's already available, it's already fetched and keep it in the place. So from there it will take the information about the material. But in the same scenario, if the user doesn't have an authorization for invoice and customer, what is the need of getting these details for that user as well? So that is not required. So in this particular situation, we go the association concept. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the same scenario with joins and association. And the same time, I will show you the backend SQL statement, how the SQL is behaving for joins and association. Okay. So then we come back to the next slide. Then it will be very easy to understand what is association and what is joins. So when you go on to go with associations or joins. Okay. So I hope this scenario is very simple to understand. Let me get into my system. So here I have already written the code for joins. So for the time consuming, you don't want to just see how to become a joins, because the last video I have explained how to create an inner join and left outer join. So here what I have did, I created one CDS view, and I have performed inner join for VBAP. This is for sales, okay? So VBAK and VBAP, and another inner join for billing document item, and then left outer join for my material and customer, okay? And here I just placed what are the fields the user wants to see or the UI application is required. So everything is ready now. If you execute, what happens? It just keep all the data ready in the first execution itself. So now just remember our scenario. The user doesn't have authorization to see the billing information. Then why the system need or required to get all the billing information details, keep it ready? So that is not required. Okay, so mainly the time consuming process, unnecessarily it will take the data from the billing information as well if you go with, or if you perform with inner joins or joins. Okay, now little technical. What I'm going to do is I will show you how it behaves in the backend. Just right click in your CDS view, and you can have an option with show SQL create statements, how in the backend the system is communicating to the database. with a select statement. So here I just expand it. Okay, so this is the part which is very important. It just made a join or mapping for all the relevant table as well as your views. Okay, so VBAK as join with VBAP and join with billing item, and left join with iMaterial. Again, the left outer join is iCustomer. So as I mentioned, if the user doesn't have the authorization for billing document, why this join is required over here? Okay, so that is not required. Now I will create a one CDS view for the same combination of table and views mapping with association. We'll see the same SQL statement, how it behaves in the backend. Okay, then we come to a conclusion. So what is join and what is association depends on your own scenario. You have to decide. So here I'm not going to say inner join is best or association is best. So I'll explain how it behaves. Join and association depends on your scenario, depends on your data volume and complexity. You have to decide whether you go with associations or joins. Okay, let me create association for this. Okay, data definition, just create new data definition, ZGI association, associations. Next, this is a custom package, so it's always asking the transport request and click finish. Okay, I didn't choose the template, that's fine. So now here ZGI associations, my SQL name. So please ignore the spelling mistake if any. And here I'm going to do, okay, I want my primary as VBAK, and alias name standard format is underscore, and you can give whatever you want. So I go with S header. Okay, and the association is also be before your parenthesis. Okay, so inner join, association, parameter, everything before the parenthesis only. So the syntax would be association. Okay, cardinality. So I will see about cardinality with a different example, probably in part 2. I will explain about cardinality as well. So I want to join to VBAP. Okay, uh, as item on what basis? So I want header dot weblen is equal to item dot weblen. Okay, so here you have a option called projection as well. So instead of s header you can have a projection, right? So we'll see that one. So next, association, and you have different options for association. I can say 1 2 star. Okay, we'll see that those as well. And to my billing document, I need to copy that. It's a little bigger name. Okay, I billing document, and the connection is with, okay, sales document. The name is sales document. Okay, better I copy like this, and go here, association to billing as billing on header weblen equal to billing sales document. And my another association for customer or material, star 2. Let me copy from here. Okay, let me go with material. Okay, and finally for customer, association, and you have an option called 1 2. So this kind of association also possible. This is safer side. Okay, so I will explain, don't worry. And here I'm going to use customer. Okay, so almost all my associations are ready. So now I want to keep the few values, key fields. I want to keep some key fields. Where is the open parenthesis? Somewhere I missed. Um, Okay, I think it's gone. So let me open it. Okay, so here I need sales header dot Veblen. Okay, and what else? Okay, I want header dot vbtyp. So only few. Okay, I'm done. So you have some warning messages, mostly warning us this item is not used. I will tell you. Okay, this is actually warning. It's not error message, just a warning. So meaning us you need to keep your association as public. So always keep your association as public. Then only it will be accessible by another application or a CDS view. Okay, so if not, then association, here association is nothing but these are the association: S item, billing, material, customer. These are called association names, alias name. So you have to keep these four things as a public one. Otherwise the person or the object which is accessing your particular CDS view, they are not able to make use of your association fields. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep all my association as public. So first I'm going to say S item, yes item, comma. So once you make the things available, you can see your warning will disappear. So S item I'm going to make public, and I'm going to make billing as public, and I'm going to make material as public, and finally I'm going to make customer as public. Okay, so this is a way you have to uh, write or design a association CDS view with association. Okay. um, Okay, so here the another one is you can say it's not contained in the entity list. Okay, I will tell you one basic thumb rule in association is you should not make any association with the field which is available in the association part, not with your source. So what is your source? My source is header, other all fours are association. Okay, so you always make the connection between your source and association with your basic as header only, with your basic source only. So don't create this kind of association. I'll tell you why. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this as commented one. Okay, I'm not going to use it, and here it says not in the entity list. Okay, so another point, another thumb rule, whatever field you are using for the connections, for the mapping. So here I used Veblen, and here I used the same Veblen, and here I used Kunar. Okay, so that should be available in your entity list, selection list. Otherwise you will get a syntax error. Okay, KUNNR as customer. Okay, so alias is not required. If you want, you can make it use of it. So this association is not required now. Okay, so two thumb rules. One is whatever field you are using for the mapping, that needs to be available in your selection list first. Second one, so don't create association between the association. So because this item is another association and material is the another association, so don't create a mapping on it. If you create a mapping on it, that is not especially the usage of association. Okay, let me see why. Now everything is ready. What I'm going to do is I'm going to execute this option, execute this CDS view. If I execute, I will get only three fields: sales order type, and customer. This is from the source table or CDS view. Here I am using a table called VBAK. Okay, so if you execute, it will take the value only from your source. It not going to take information from your association. That is the first advantage. It won't fetch all the mapping table content and dump it. Okay, it will take some time, right? VBAK, material information, customer information, invoice, billing. Obviously, it will take time. It won't do that. Association won't do that. Association will get the data only from your source. Very clear? Now, from this, you have association is mapped, and we made the association as public. So from here, you are able to see what is the relevant value for the billing. For example, I'm just going to I think you won't have, yes, because by default it will take the first record. I have some billing documents over here. One second, let me filter it. The value is, let me check in the ECC first. Okay. Instead of that, I can do over here joins for this one. I already made a joins, right? So this has the value. Okay, here it is, billing document. So 5914 is the sales document. Okay, go here and filter it for 5914, enter. Okay, so now I'm going to see the association for this 5914 of billing document. Yes, it has everything. Okay, because I mapped with the standard CDS view for billing document, you will get all the informations. So whenever the association is getting triggered, that time only the mapping will trigger and get the information from your database. It's not fetch everything same like joins. Okay, so simply we call it as association is a lazy join or on demand join. Whenever there is a demand, only that time association will execute. So if you compare join and association, for this kind of scenarios, association is better. Okay, meaning I don't want to dump everything at one time or the first time all the data, because the usage of data is differ between the users. Clear? Now, technically, if you go to association, right click, and you can say show SQL create statement. See, it just take the value only from VBAK, only from the source, not from any of your association. That is the one of the reason I mentioned don't use mapping between your associations over here. Always go with the source. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, or I'm going to take one of the fields. I'm going to display one of the fields in the from the associations. Okay, you can do it, but performance wise don't do it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I want to see the ELP, right? I forgot about it. One second. Oh, sorry, it is Postner. Yes, item number. Okay, I'm going to display my item number from the association part. So now what happens? It take the data from source VBAK. Additionally, it will get the information from your one of the association called S item. Now, if you go and see the SQL, show SQL create statement, it creates joins between VBAP to VBAP. Okay, sorry, here it is. Okay, VBAP. Okay, VBAK to VBAP, correct. And here by default your association is join with this only, left outer many to one. Forget about many to one. All association go with the option called left outer join. By default you have an option to change this as well. Okay, and many to one is nothing but your cardinality. What is the cardinality of this particular VBAK and VBAP you have given? So here if you see 1 to, okay, VBAP 1 to 1. So left out is many and many to 1. Okay, so that is the way it will design your SQL statement. Clear? If I execute this, what happens? It will take VBAK information along with one particular association details as well. So again, from here you can switch over to another association. Now you have only two associations are pending, meaning it not executed. And if you say customer, by default it will take the first record and it will show you what is the customer details of the particular sales order. So hope you have at least the basic idea about associations. So when you have to use association, when you should not use associations. Okay. So it's actually a little bigger concept. A lot of small concepts are available. So here I explained how to syntax of association, do's and don'ts, like always go with the source field, display on the source fields over here, and don't do a mapping between the associations, and keep your associations as public. If not, what happens? Simple, it won't display. That's it. Whoever is calling this particular the double slash is for comment, or you can see control shift comma is for comment align, control shift dot is uncomment align. Okay, so whoever is wants to see the billing information, so they're not able to do it. Act toward it. Yeah, and I'm going to execute it again. So now if you see association, you're not able to see the billing association because I made it private. It's very rare scenario to make association as private, but there is an option. So always keep your association as public. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to call the association from SE38, because if you see this association in SE11, you can see the associations. Okay, let me make the change and I will make only the associations over here. Okay, so whatever you can add it here, right? That is called ad hoc association concept, ADHOC. Okay, so if you see like POSNR, it's nothing but you are going to get the informations over here, ad hoc. Okay, so now let me make this concept, keep everything same as the initial stage. I'm going to see how it's behave in SE11 and how can I access association CDS view in SE38. So let me open. Okay, so here let me go to SE11 display. So it displays only the fields, whatever fields you enabled, only that is going to display here. WebLAN VBAT customer from your source, all from VBAK. So you're not able to write a query to access the association fields using this SQL statement. Let me create a program and show you. CGI call association. Okay, created. Forget about association call. The spelling, please save it. Now I'm going to write the same program, like select what is there. The names is okay. WebLAN VB type only. I'm going here WebLAN VB type from association into table data item. So this is fine because the field which I have chosen is already available or it's from the source table, not from any of the association. This will be fine. But if you want to access the association, what you can do is you have the format and you have to give the association name. Okay, what is the association name you have to give? We made as public already, and hyphen. I want material number, MATNR, and alias is very important for that. Okay, for the association fields. So this is a way you can access your association fields, right? Okay, sorry, this is actually this arrow. Yeah, this slash. So now I'm going to trying to activate it. So it's a basic one. This particular association or an object or a view doesn't have the fields S item hyphen material. Especially S item is not available from this particular object or a CDS or SQL view. So what you have to do is for this, if you want to access any association fields, then you always go with the CDS entity name, not your SQL name. Okay, Control C and just paste it. Okay, now check, it's done, execute it. Okay, so this is a way you can call the association fields in any SAP program. Activate. Let's see how it behaves. It's simple. It'll have three fields and two from source, one from association. I tab. So you have WebLAN type and material. Okay. So now quickly I will show you the PPT. Yes. So now this is about. So if the same scenario, if you go with joins, you will get all the data at one stretch. You dump all the informations. It needs time to fetch all the records. But association, it fetch only the initial or source object. It can be a view or it can be a table. It fetch only the source one. Okay, so we call it as association as lazy join or on demand. So whenever there is a demand, then only association will work. So just think about it. Your CDS is going to consume in a UI application. Now you can design your CDS view, whether it's with inner join or association. It depends on your particular scenario or requirement. Okay, so for association, just keep only the base or CDS view in the selection list, as I mentioned. So don't enable any of the association fields unnecessarily in your CDS view with association, and always keep the association as public, meaning you have to expose your association. Then only the people who are consume your CDS view, they are able to use your association. And ad hoc association concept is nothing but I'm not going to enable the field of my association. And not only that, you can change the default join for association is left outer. You can change as inner. Okay, you can change as inner join as well. I will tell you how to do that. And we have a finally we have a path expressions, and we have cardinality also. Okay, so I will just cover other concept of association in the next video. Maybe it's a part 2. Thank you so much for your time.